you'll notice that this is a Google spreadsheet, but it's a highly dynamic Google spreadsheet because it is linking to all of your teachers' spreadsheets so that you can see as quickly as they can see what is your measurement on each of the standards you're working on in each of those classes, like we explained before. So down here at the bottom, you're going to see the first tab is listed as student info, and then you have a separate tab for each of the periods. Now, when you first click on them, they're pretty anticlimactic because there's no data linked to them yet. We need to teach our spreadsheet a little bit of information before it will understand what data to pull. You'll fill in these 3 gray boxes with your information. My name is Mr. Howe. My pretend student ID number would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And my birthday is 3/13/1980. It will then go and retrieve the information about me at school. I'm in Mrs. Barker's math class, Mr. Huntington's second period, Miss Clayton, Miss Coons, and Mr. Wolf's classes for the remainder of the day. When I go to the other tabs along the bottom, you're going to notice that it's loading information about my performance in those classes. It takes a little while sometimes to get all the data there, and at least at the beginning, you might not have data to start with. We're early enough in the year that there's not a lot of data points in your teachers by the student by the standard trackers yet, but in the upcoming days and weeks, you're going to see more and more information there. This is kind of pretend data that I put into each of the trackers so that I could see what it would look like in the long run. So you can see me in Mrs. Barker's class showing that I've got these scores on these different standards that we've done. If I go to each of these classes, you can just see some of this pretend data. There's my U.S. history class, my 4th period class. Looks like I did a lot of assessments. They also color code them according to what level of proficiency. 1 being red and 2's being yellow, 3's being green and 4's being blue. Just letting you know what your level of proficiency or mastery is on that standard. And my 5th period, of course, would be there as well. So I get all of those in one spot, and I can see specifically which standards I've completed and how I've done on each of those standards. Back on the first tab, you'll see a summary of all of that. So it will eventually populate the data so that it shows on each of those how I've done. And I can, at a glance, know how am I doing and where do I need some extra focus. Looks like maybe I should use a little bit of extra focus here in my social studies to see if I can get that to be green or blue like the others are, which would be a great, great goal to work on. Now, it's a little unpredictable, but sometimes when you come into your tabs here, you're going to find that it's got most of this information, but it says an error. It's going to be a funny error that says something like REF, which means it can't figure out the reference. It will either be in the F2 box or in the E5 box or both. Usually all you need to do if you get that error is to click on it, and there's a little button that asks you to allow access or grant access. Once you click on that, then it will retrieve the data and will show the rest. I wish I could show you that error right now, but I can't always make the error happen. It's a little unpredictable for me. So just know if you see a little error, go and hit allow access or grant access, and you should be able to get the rest of your data. That's it. That's setting up the by the student by the standard mastery tracker. Like I said, this has been for our students one of the best tools they've ever used to be able to stay on top of their grades and how well they are doing on all of their essential standards in their classes. Use it. Have it open constantly. The next part of what we're going to do with our Mustang time is to show you how to get this organized so that you can access it quickly. But know that this is a document you're going to want to use over and over and over again, especially as you're getting ready for Mustang time, because this will determine where you get assigned or get to pick for Mustang time. You'll typically be asked to come to work on areas that aren't yet proficient. So likely next week, if these were my grades, I'd probably be asked to come and work with one of the social studies teachers to see if I can fix something in my social studies to get that to be a green or a blue. So it is such an important document that you monitor closely and often. Now remember, our digital planner is really slick because it's got some great links on the front page for you to get to use. It's also got some calendars at a glance. It's got things that you can fill out each day and even mark your progress on each day of the entire school year so you know how you're doing overall. But I want to talk about that front cover again. Most of these links are already ready to go for you. You'll notice if I click on this and follow the link to the Mustang Room, it's going to take me to that part of the website. If I click on this one, it would take me to Gradebook if I follow it. Right now, the one I want to talk about is, sure enough, the one in the center of the top row, BSBS Tracker, by the student, by the standard tracker. That is the only one that you've probably noticed does not yet have a link. The reason for that is when we made these at the beginning of the year, we did not know what your individual link would be because they're different for all students. So let's complete that now. To do that, I need to go to where my by the student, by the standard tracker is, the thing we set up together, and I need to actually copy the link that will reroute me to this location. To do that, I come up to the button that says Share, and right down here, there's a place to copy the link. Now, it's going to say restricted, only people added can open this link. You should be fine with that because it's always going to be you who's logged in to be able to access this. So I just need to hit Copy Link. If you want it a little bit more broad that maybe your parents can access it, when you give them the link, that's fine too. You can just change to anyone with the link, it's just fine. But for now, I would just recommend copy that link and then you're going to hit Done. Now on the clipboard, it's got the link to this by the student, by the standard tracker. To get it onto my digital planner, I need to go back to that again, and I'm going to click on the very thing that did not have a link before, the BSBS tracker logo. Now, there's a couple ways I can do it. You can come up here to Insert and choose Link, or I like the recommendation of the shortcut, which on my computer, which is a Mac, it's going to be Command K. I think on your Chromebook, it's going to be Control K. So you can do either one. You can hit just Insert Link, or you can do Command or Control K. So I'm doing that now, and it's going to pop something up like this. It says search or paste the link. I need to paste the link. Now, I already copied it from the other document. So to paste it, I'm going to hit the button Control V. V is in Victor. I don't know why V is the shortcut or the abbreviation for paste, but that's how computers work. Control V, or on a Mac, it's going to be Command V. Most of you, it's Control V. So I'm going to hit Control V. It's going to paste the link that I just copied from my by the student, by the standard tracker, and then I hit Apply. Immediately now, I've added one more link to my digital planner. So all the others are working, and if I click on the by the student, by the standard tracker, it's going to open this, and I can choose to follow it, and sure enough, it will take me to the same tracker every single time. So it doesn't take a lot of work, it just takes a little bit of work to get this part organized so that you can link directly to the same sheet you had used before.